Welcome back to the channel, and today we are taking a first look at Bladesong. This is a playtest, and if you like games where you can build things and you like swords, then this right here is the game for you. Now, what I'm playing right now is clearly not the completed game. There will be a campaign mode, but we're going to be diving into the creative mode, and this playtest is freely available until February 11th. So if you're watching this video before then and you want to try this game out, then you're going to want to check it out. You're going to want to follow the links down in the description. So let's hop into the creative mode, and I got some news. You may see that there's two things here. I actually already spent over an hour and a half building 2 swords, and the audio didn't get recorded. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the swords that I built, and then we're gonna build a couple more swords so you can actually see how crazy this crafting system is. Okay, so the scrappy broadsword. My first attempt was to build a sword that looked like a realistic sword that you might see someone use in a video game or in history. So check it out. This is the sword, and none of this is you're not gonna be able to appreciate this yet until you see me actually start from scratch. But this, like, there's the amount of detail when you just like zoom in here. Like, you see these ridges, I've learned these are called fullers. Side fullers to be specific. You can see the taper off, like every little thing here. You see these circles right here, these black circles, I put those there. You see these runes, I put those there. You see these individual things on the segments of the handle, the pommel, the thing on the end of I put all of that there. Like, this is, you get full customization over this stuff. So this is the sword that I built, that I wanted to look like a realistic sword. Now, the other sword that I built was for me to push the limits of the creativity of this game and see how ridiculous you can get, and you can get ridiculous. So the scrap sword is not the scrappy broadsword. It is in a league of its own. So check this thing out. This this is the scrap sword. Now, the obvious thing that draws your attention is the shape of the blade. It is serrated, it is curved, it basically looks like a snake, it is covered in runes, and the fullers are actually embossed instead of beveled. But what really takes the cake to me is the hilt and the handle. Look at this. We've got a horse head pommel with glowing spikes that I've added. I've also added like a glowing pupil and a glowing nostrils. We have a twisty handle here. We've got a glow spike studded handle as well, like hilt as well here, or guard. I'm learning all the terms for this stuff. So this kind of shows how crazy you can get with it. To really appreciate how cool this game is, you gotta see what it's like to start from scratch. So let's go back, and we're gonna forge a brand new blade. And this is what we start with. This is what all your swords start out as. And what we can do is we can actually change our background as well. We can have it be like in a 3D. We can have it be on an anvil. So all these lighting situations can really change how you're, like, you can really see different details in your swords, depending on what background you decide. Like this is my favorite just for crafting and shaping. But then when I want to like go into like the fullers and the little contours and stuff, this gives that light reflection that really shows the shadows and the ridges really, really well. But let's start here. So the first thing you got to do is you go over here and you click draw out, and this applies the ability to draw out. And you can apply all of these as independent ability layers, essentially. And you can stack them, and you can have multiples of each ones except draw out. And what draw out basically does is you determine the length of your blade here. So what I want to do now is actually create a scimitar. In my first failed recording, that was one of the things I said I wanted to do next, because I tried some more complex shaping things and realized I think you can actually build a pretty cool looking scimitar. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is I need to figure out how long is a scimitar. All right, so according to Google, a scimitar is 30 to 36 inches in length, which is basically around 75 to 90 centimeters. And if I click this up here, I can get some stats on my sword. So blade length is 37 centimeters, and we want to go up to like 80. So let's bring this up to About 80. There we go. Oh, did you hear? I didn't even realize that was I thought it was music playing, but there's like a tone that plays. We're at 5 kilograms so far. So here, this is the center of mass, apparently. And I forget what these are called. Like these other things are like the aft rotation points or something. If you're into like sword stuff, you probably understand what I'm talking about. This is all new stuff to me. I'm not very well versed in blacksmithing. Okay, so the tutorial kind of took me through all the different ways to shape the sword, but what I found helps me a lot is to actually start with the hilt. The hilt gives context to the blade for me. So if you click this up here, you can switch between the blade features and the hilt features. So now for a scimitar, we need to design our hilt. Oh, and another thing I wanted to create, you know, I'm gonna try to hopefully have time for 2 blades, but you can do so much customization with the handle. You can make like a spear if you wanted to. The handle doesn't have to be like this. This is just the attachment point, but you can make the handle as long as you want. So I might try to make a scythe, maybe if I have time. If not in this episode, maybe if it does well. That could be a future project. But right now, we've got to choose a guard. So we just snap, it shows the attachment point, that arrow right there. And then you can press Q and E to cycle through without having to like come back here and bring it back and come back here and bring it back. So there's a lot of really intuitive controls with this. So for a scimitar, whoa, that is a little excessive. I need to see it in context with the size of the blade. That could be pretty cool. I don't know though. If I place this down, does this have any other? No, not really. Wait, could I like put that here? No, this needs to go on. They need to go onto attachment points. But I can just click and drag and move stuff around. It's super like intuitive. I love it. So like I mentioned before, this is just like the playtest, and I'm sure they're gonna have tons more pieces to choose from and customizability. And also there's going to be like a campaign where you get like contracts to build certain types of swords, which could be a great way to learn how to build like your dream sword pretty much. But for a scimitar, I think like this one's really cool. I did that one for my other swords, but I'm going to go with this one. You can also stack them. You don't have to choose just one. Like I could like add this either in here. Oh, we can change the sizes. Actually, I forgot about that aspect. In that case, I might want to go with this fancy one and then just make it smaller. But no, then like, no, yeah, this can work. If I do that, but then I need a better base for the actual base of the sword here. So then I can add like this one or, oh, there we go. Maybe that looks pretty cool. I think I'm down for that. All right, so now for the grip. So for a scimitar, so these are just different types of tapers. So we have like our standard, regular, straight, and we got mild tapers and stuff. It'll make more sense once I start doing this. So what I like to do is make these smaller and then add segments on them. So if I press shift and click, I can just duplicate it. So now I can do this kind of segmented, and then I can start, if I switch, you can see the taper. I can start tapering it down. And then I can choose another type of taper. Where is it? There we go. Then that one tapers it down even more. All right, I think that's pretty good. And then we have these risers. So you can add these little risers in between. Or if you don't want risers, this one actually might be more elegant. Kashira. Or no, these miscellaneous ones. Here we go. These round ferrules. I'm gonna go with the thin ones. So I can add that. Add one there. There. And then we need like, can I make it smaller? Oh, I can make it smaller. There we go. Yeah, make it smaller to match. What if I go too small? Oh, interesting. So yeah, it takes up its own spot, its own little segment. There we are. Look at the detail when you zoom in. Look at this detail. Isn't that awesome? We can change the colors and the textures of these things too. All right, should I put a riser down here before the pommel? I don't know. Let's do a pommel first. So for a scimitar, what's a good pommel? So we don't have a whole lot of pommels to choose from right now. I might go with this. And you know what? This looks weird a little bit, but I'm gonna add this right there. Because I want to add like a gem or something right there. Yeah. Pyramid right there. And then let me go to a different This one I can go underneath. Also add it right there. What is this? Luxurious cap. Those look kind of cool. All right, I like that. You know, I'm realizing I don't like these pyramids. I think I like this block better. Because then we can go down here and we can like choose, like, there we go. There's like, it's gold now. Or we could have it glow gold. Yeah. And then we can make this gold. All right, I'll make this obsidian and then have these gold caps. There we go. And then we can make these gold bands. Look at that, looks so nice. But look at some of the other textures. Like down the bottom, you can see the names. It says obsidian to ivory. You can see the different weights. So 66 grams if it was obsidian, 45 if it was ivory. Clay, glowing steel, enchanted steel blue, enchanted steel red. But then we got like, look at this, like these ropes and wires. We have wood textures. Look at the texture on these things. Oh, what is this? Poplar wood. That actually, that kind of looks elegant too. I don't know. I kind of like the black though. But check out the leather as well. Here. Oh, we got snake skin, snake scales. Blue leather, green, red, black leather on wood, which is a different texture than this leather. And then we got straight up steel, rough steel, and brush steel. I'm thinking, I like the look of the obsidian. All right, and then there's definitely got to be like another gem in there. What about an emblem? Ooh, oh, that fits. It's like meant for that. All right, what color should the emblem be? Probably obsidian. All right, that's cool. Really happy with that. So I'm gonna name this the Scrap Scimitar. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Scrap Scimitar. So now in my first recording, I did have a couple of crashes and there's no like save button, but I find if you just go back, it automatically saves. And look at that. We just got a fatal error when we went back. So it is the playtest. Errors are expected to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and restart. And fortunately, it should, you can see my Scrap Scimitars right there. It should have saved my work. So if you play this game and you're designing stuff every so often, just press the back button on the top left. And then when you come back into the game, go to creative mode. It should. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. I saw the sword. I was like, oh, no, my sword didn't get saved. But I never started on the actual sword thing. We were just working on the hilt so far. And the hilt has been saved, as you can see. So yeah, just press this button and it will save your progress. Why is there red there? Oh, it's lighting artifacts. Okay. Man, look at how nice this looks. Look at how nice this looks. This could look interesting. So there's this flat round. That's what that looks like versus this. Oh man, just look at the way it applies. I think the flat round looks pretty nice. So what I think this game really needs is a snap button for the center and a mirror button. There is a mirror button for some of your blade stuff, but a mirror button for applying these miscellaneous things. All right, so center looks right about here, and I'll copy and paste it down here. All right, so this, I just gotta eyeball this stuff, but I'm sure it's probably gonna get a lot more robust in the controls as you go. And then of course I could resize these too, if I want them to get smaller as they go down to this smaller part, but I think I'm just gonna put one. Maybe I'm not gonna put one there. I'm gonna put one. Yeah, I am gonna put one there. So just for the sake, it's gonna be really hard to like mimic that on the bottom. So we're not really gonna be looking at the bottom that much. So I'm just gonna leave these on top only, and obviously make them nice and gold. I think that's looking pretty cool. I think I'm done with the hilt. Now for the even crazier part, the sword. But let me save it real quick. There we go, as simple as that. Okay, so we've drawn out our length. Now we've got to flatten it. So all you got to do is click on this yellow line and drag the mouse up and down, and you can choose the thickness. Now this thickness is not your edge thickness, keep in mind. This is just the thickness of the thickest part of your sword. Minus if you want to have beveled fullers. And you can, like I said, you can like, oh, we can, a mace is the other thing I wanted to make. Like you can choose where it starts and ends with this thickness, and then you can taper it. And then you can choose different taper styles. And this applies to pretty much every customizable thing on it. Like it's so customizable. The scimitar, I don't know how thick a scimitar is. I think that's good right there. All right, so now we're gonna click broaden. And this is going to broaden the sword. And I feel like we want it to be somewhat broad I do have like, here, I'm gonna show you my reference image. This is a cool looking scimitar to me. I guess it's from For the Words. I don't even know what fandom this is, but I just typed in scimitar and I wanted one that had some shape to it. So this is my inspiration. It's probably not going to look exactly like that. So now you know the basic shape I'm going for. And it is a somewhat advanced shape for this game because the blade has multiple thicknesses and like points to it. It doesn't just go straight out and taper off. Like that's super easy to do in this game, is just going straight and tapering off. Even the wavy one I did was kind of simple compared to what I'm about to try with this scimitar. All right, so now that we've picked the broaden and we've chosen our thickness, I'm just going based off like the handle size here. All right, so now I think we want to do narrow. And okay, so now this is where we can start like choosing where it's going to get thinner and thicker. It seems to actually start off narrower and then get a little bit thicker. So what I can do is I can move this. You can see it gets a little bit narrower, but then I can like do this gradient and have it be like a nice smooth gradient like that if I wanted to, or I could change it like that's kind of cool looking. Depends on how much of a difference I want it. Like, see, like you can go like that. All right, so the scimitar, this is kind of hard. It's hard to like predict what layers I'm gonna need where, because like I said, this is my third sword I built in this game, and this is the first time doing something with this much of a complex, like multi-level thickness throughout, where it goes thin, thick, thin. But what I might want to do is that, and then go back to broaden. And then I can just, oh, well, we're going to keep that broaden there. We're going to add another broaden. I think I should be able to move these. Oh, well, I don't think it really actually matters. But now this broaden I can bring up to here. And now we can go like this. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. There we go. But now watch this. There we go. And then this broaden, or no, this narrow needs to go like that. All right. So now I've created that little like scoop. Oh, we should put the point. Let's put the point on this thing, because this thing definitely needs to come down to a point. The point should be symmetrical because we're going to curve it, but we want the point there. So now you can see I can like start creating the point here, and then see we can even create how sharp the point is. So I feel like we should be like pretty sharp. All right, but we're going to need another narrow, and this narrow is going to happen after that curve. So then, oh, and this is also going to be asymmetrical. No, not that side, but that side. And we want that kind of curve. So there we go. You see what I'm saying? Like that. But this whole thing needs to move up closer to the tip. And then I can always go back at any point to a different layer, click on it, and then now I can readjust that one. All right, so now let's add a curvature. So this curvature I will apply, it looks like pretty much right after the point and all the way out to the tip. So now you can see I can start curving it. It's more than I expected. Like this almost needs to be broader. Let's go to the broaden. Oh yeah, that works. The broaden is definitely working. I feel like this actually needs to be more gradual though. Oh, it's coming together. Do you see like the way that the shape just starts to just take shape? Look at that. That looks so good already. Wait, let me experiment with a couple of different curves here. Like, look at it. You can see like the different shapes that you can do. So that or that. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's play with the curvature a little bit. How much curve do we want? That's not too bad. And let's see how the point affects this. Okay. All right, I think that's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna save this now. That was like the hard part. Like that was the most advanced shaping of the sword I've done yet. And part of me wants to add another curvature to the whole blade, or not the whole blade, but like just this section. It looks like just slightly right there. Just the slightest little curvature. All right, so now kind of some of the fun stuff here. We've got cross section. So this is where you start adding the edge. Now, because this is a scimitar, we want an asymmetrical cross section, I believe. So only this one side is gonna have the edge. So now what we can do is we can adjust the sharpness of the edge. So I'm gonna go as sharp as I can. Then we can adjust the bevel, like how rounded it is versus how scooped it is. I like it when it's really scooped. And then we can adjust how large of an area it tapers off. So for this, I mean, we could be kind of pretty big, and I think this goes all the way to the end pretty much. Yeah, get that, make sure that bevel's looking good. Here, let me do this. This is gonna make it just easier. Oh no, here we go. We need, this is where we need the anvil setting, because now we can see the shadow really, really well. I think we kind of want it kind of big. And I think it pretty much goes like nearly the whole length of the sword. Yeah, like that looks cool. And we could choose how long you want this taper to be. We could change the shape of it. Like that looks pretty cool. That actually looks pretty cool. That doesn't look like it matches. That doesn't look like it matches. That looks cool. I think I like that one the best. Look at that. That's so cool. All right, you know what? This is starting to feel a little bit too pointy to me. Like it meets a little bit too even. Let me see if I can round this out a little bit. What point is that? We have the broad, the narrow. Go like this, or we can change this shape. Well, we can create like shark fin. Look at that shark fin style. Oh, here we go. This is more subtle. That actually... Oh, dang it. So there's the more extreme one, and there's... That one's more subtle. The only thing about it is I don't like how you can kind of see it merge there. All right, that's a better merge point there. That actually I like that look better. That does look better to me. I'll adjust the curvature to be just a little more. You can see your values over here too for what your value is. All right, I think that's looking good. How's our cross section feeling? Do I want this to be any different? I kind of like seeing the edge. Like this, you can't really see it because it's too gradual. I like being able to see it, so I'm gonna go with that. Now, here's something interesting. Could I add notches into this thing? I'm gonna try something here. There's a narrow grind. Oh, look at that. There we go. Oh, look at it. I can like do it like the picture too. Oh, that's awesome. I had no idea I was gonna be able to like actually do that. That's pretty cool. All right. Oh, and I can make it more irregular like that by changing some of these. Look at this. All right. So I don't know if I'm going to add this stuff, but I'm going to show you what it is because it's pretty cool. So you have full rounded. So this is basically like a groove that goes all the way up the sword, and you can change if the groove is concave or convex and how deep it is. It could be really subtle or not. You could like, this could essentially also be just like a line groove. Look at that. That could look pretty cool. Maybe less deep if it's going to be like that. And then I could also grab the blue and you can move the location. Ooh, having it up at the top near the horn is pretty cool. Oh, I like that. Or I might want to, so another option, there's that fuller. There's also side fullers. There's two like symmetrical ones. So you can see, whoa. That's interesting that they're like, because of how deep this one is. Huh. Because of how asymmetrical this sword is, these are normally on my broadsword, they were symmetrical down either side of the sword, but because the sword itself isn't symmetrical, it kind of automatically just shapes it to fit the cross section here, the curvature. Oh, that's cool. Okay, all right, hold on. Does that do that with the fuller, the regular fuller? Oh, it doesn't. The regular fuller follows the center of the sword, but the side fullers, they follow the edges of the sword. Oh, yes, I can do it not symmetrical. The symmetry button up here just changes everything. Oh yeah, I'm gonna love this. I love this. I love it. Oh no, fatal error. Okay, this is gonna happen. It could be because of my recording software, to be honest. It might be better. It might be more stable without recording. All right, but we're back. We still got our notch and everything. So I'm just pretty much gonna save after like every major change that I make. Okay, so side fullers, and then we're going this side for the symmetry. So the smooth ones, the difference is like, you can see the smooth one, it has this very gradual fade off at the end here. And then if I go rounded, actually that kind of looks cool, but let's move this all the way down. There we go. Now, how do we want, that looks so cool. How do we want this to look? We want it to be more on the edge like that, or do we want it to be more, I kind of like it more in the, more closer to the middle. I like that. That looks really cool to me. I think I want to add just another notch, like there's just a little bit more damage over here. So what was that? Narrow. Narrow grind. It makes the blade narrower by grinding. Sharp edges will turn blunt. So it makes a lot of sense to use that one. So we want to be around here and on the other side. All right, right there. And then this one, I want it to be a little bit less deep. So let's go like that. And then we can change these. How's that looking? That looks pretty good. That's kind of cool. Like a shallower but bigger chunk taken out. You could shape so much. Now, flamboyance is kind of crazy. Flamboyance is where the waviness comes in, and you can just get crazy with that. So you have, you know, different sizes. I find that the more reasonable flamboyance is the 2. It just, you can see it kind of does just more reasonable waves in my opinion. You can also just change the size, like small flamboyance. So it basically changes the frequency of the waves. So this is more of a, this would be good for like a dagger, like a serrated dagger or something. Look at that. But I do not want that for the, ooh. Actually, hold on a second. What if I have an asymmetrical flamboyance, but it's on the other side? Maybe I don't want small. Maybe I want medium. It does have an aesthetic. I don't know if it's the right aesthetic for this sword. One thing I haven't touched, but just to show you guys, we have the profile taper. It makes it narrower towards the point. So what that looks like is pretty much that. And then I think the distal taper is the exact opposite. If you wanted it to get, wait, what does it say? Making it less thick towards the point. Oh, this is the, in this direction. Yeah, see, like that. They're probably easier to see from this side. Yep, so see? Now as I bring it to an extreme, you can see it's like the same thickness over here. I can actually have it more gradually kind of go out. And then it tapers off to paper at the end. All right, and then the last thing is polish. You can have it look worn like this, or you could polish it up like that. And whoa, actually, I didn't notice when I first did it. We could have it be more or less polished. I didn't even notice that my first time. So there's like a gradient to the polish if we want it. All right, so yeah, as you can see, you can have the full gradient from 0% all the way up to full polish, and that looks so nice. But the wear and tear right here does make it seem a little odd. Have it more polish near the hilt, and then get a lot less polish up near the more worn area. Yeah, so now most of the polish, it starts really polished down here, and then it gets gradually less polished as you go up. I like that. So now we can take a look here in different environments as well. You see the light on it. I think this is pretty good. Oh wait, no. There's one more. There's something missing. I wanted to put like a rune design here. Now, one of the things that is definitely missing is color. You can't color the runes, but you should definitely be able to color the runes at some point. So do I want to put like, no, the gem would be sticking out. I would want it to be kind of an engraving. You know, if I use this particular rune, I can rotate it like this. You could essentially draw with this. You can also change like the sizing of it. You could make your own runes, or you can use the pre-made ones. I kind of like the lightning. I don't think there's a mirror option for these runes, unfortunately. The cool thing is you can see it follows the curve of the sword as you just move around, which is pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna put that one there. And I'm gonna duplicate it, turn it around, and then I want like a smaller one in the middle. Oh, this one right here. Is that too much, or is that good? You know, I think it might be too much. I'm gonna delete the edge ones. There we go. I think that looks cool. I think that looks really cool. No, you can't paint. You can only paint the hilt stuff. You can't paint the blade yet. All right, now I think I'm done. Oh yeah, look at that shadow. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. Get some detail on here. Zoom in. Look at this. Look at this. This is so cool. All right, what other environments we got? Lighting's kind of bland in these environments. Oh, this is a nice environment. Ooh, I do like the lighting in this environment. This is a good neutral environment with some good lighting. Yep. All right, I'm ready to finalize that one. So Scrap Scimitar was a success. And actually, one of the things I meant to do real quick, I think a red gem fits better than the gold gem. It's just that one little thing that stands out, you know? Oh, and then I know what else to do. All right, those are not aligned. Hold on. All right, be centered, please. All right, there we go. I think that looks pretty cool. Scrap Scimitar is a success. Now, just for the sake of it, I'm gonna see if I can build a scythe. Let's go back. We're gonna forge a new blade and restart the game. All right, so now scythes are a little bit weird because it's like more about the handle, but then a lot of scythes, they kind of extend on both sides of the handle, like once it gets to the top. I don't know if I can do that, but let's just mess around with it. First, this is all about the hilt aspect of it. I might not be able to build like a realistic looking scythe. I'm just going to experiment. This is just we've made our serious weapon. Now let's just mess around. I'm going to have it be a twisty handle. See, like we could just extend this. Oh, adding, see, I always saw this as like the pommel at the end, which is actually a really good one for a scythe. So is that. That's actually pretty good. But adding this up here, that looks, this stuff kind of looks great for a scythe too. I mean, it'll be really easy to make a spear out of this. That'd be pretty cool. How big is this right now? We don't have handle length, grip length. Okay, so now here is where I would love it to extend just on both sides, but I don't think I can shape the blade that way because this is the point of the blade right here. This part is the point. So that point needs to curve over. Oh wait, I just realized I accidentally moved my pommel up there and that looks awesome. Let's also put that one down there though. All right, so now what is probably gonna be the hard part? We got to handle down the blade. I don't see, like, this is our only length thing. But like if we do, well, here, let's flatten the scythe out a little bit. If we do broaden, if I do an asymmetrical broaden, how far can we go? But see, then I can't make this go out to a... See, it goes only that far, so there's no way we're going to be able to get scythe shape by the broaden tool alone. So I am going to have to basically do curvature to force it to curve as a scythe, which means we're going to have to go to the draw out. We're going to have to increase the length by a lot. Curvature can be adjusted all the way. Oh my goodness. Okay, see how ridiculous you can get? Probably create a pretty cool staff with this too. All right, let's lower that curvature here. See, this is kind of rough. This is a little bit hard. Can I go like, I need to go like 90 degrees, and then I need another curvature. Yeah, this curvature is going to take over from there to go more subtle. But see, now I really want this blade to go out in this direction too. So if I click broaden, and then I broaden only this section. Whoa, unexpected results. Let's make that a little asymmetrical. Now that's kind of not the result I was expecting either. That's really weird. I figured this would like move it to the right, but it moves it in a different kind of way. Oh, here we go. That's what I was looking for. There's like some potential here. This is really hard to kind of grasp because like we're not dealing with a normal shape of a blade anymore. Now if I go like narrow here, see, this could actually look kind of cool. All right, I was going for like a radial, like sequenced, like a quantized radial thing to try to help the scythe shape. It has a vibe, but it's very hard to deal with this kind of, like, I'm not playing the game as intended right now, I'll tell you that. This is essentially the right side of the sword. If you imagine a sword going in this direction, this is the right edge, and this is the left edge. So I am not adding another blade over here. That'd be so cool if they can have like different types of blades, like scythe options where it goes from both sides. And just so you know what I'm talking about, I know that like a standard scythe only goes on one side, but I just mean that like the side of the blade attaches to the hilt, not the end of the blade. So like here's like a scythe here, so you can see it sticks out of the back too, and there's like a central point here, so then it goes out on either side. And there's also like other cool stuff like this. It'd be really cool to be able to shape things like that, or like this kind of thing where it goes out in the back. But I know like a standard scythe just like this, but still, even this, I can't just have the blade go out 90 degrees. I have to like curve it and do a weird thing. Oh, this would actually be really cool to shape as well. Maybe I can do something simplistic like this with the other side. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Almost. Oh, it does not want to go to a point. Yeah, this side, so you can see it just... Wait, maybe it's just... Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, we're getting somewhere. All right, I think that is doable. That's like tolerable for a scythe, I think. Now, what do we do with the... We need the point. Let's just go straight to point. Point is going to be symmetrical. I think we can probably draw out more. Broaden, kind of like in the broaden. Let's go back to curvature of this part. Curvature of this part might actually be less. And then the curvature of this part can increase after that. There we go. All right, let's do cross section now. So not that side, we want this side. Let's go all the way around there and there. There we go. Yeah, this one needs a big area. There we go. All right, that's looking pretty cool. All right, so now this one, I think Flamboyance is gonna be actually like kind of a thing here. So let's take a look at how the Flamboyance could feel. That's like, it's too rounded. Yeah, see, that's way too rounded. Let's go with small. That looks better. I wish we could make it like, I wish we could make these actual teeth. Huh. So Flamboyance 2, the symmetry options work. Flamboyance 1, it applies to both sides. See, now I like Flamboyance 1 better, but I only want it on the one side. Let's go Flamboyance 2 medium. Because see now, Flamboyance... Dang it. I see now, Flamboyance 2 medium, I can change which side it's on. But Flamboyance 2 is wavier and not as sharp. Is that okay? Are we okay with that? It still has a vibe. I think it still has a good vibe. I'm just realizing there's a misalignment here. I don't know if that's a glitch or because of like the way I twisted the blade. Maybe the curvature made this handle misaligned somehow. Let's worry about the fullers. Let's try some fullers. I kind of like that one. I can move it as well. That actually looks pretty cool over there too. You know what? A bevel actually really works for a scythe. I can make it thicker, more rounded like that. I'm gonna go with that. And now what happens if I do side fullers? I can do another one essentially. Ooh, that looks cool. Now there's kind of like this. Well, hold on. Now I kind of do want to adjust the other one to be beveled instead of embossed. Because then it has this cool effect over here where there's like just a raised center portion that comes out to a point, which I kind of like. And then it has like this lightning effect over here, which I also like. All right, let's see with the curvature if this affects this handle at all. Oh, it does affect the handle. Look at that. That's the problem. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe if I just reattached it. No. Maybe it's because this is like so long. Here. Maybe we don't do the twist. Let's just delete that. Let's just try a regular one. And then we'll just have it in a bunch of segments. Or wait, maybe now that we've done the initial handle, maybe we can add the twist to the end of it. Like this. Nope, the handle's sticking out. It's the twist. The twist has a little bit of a problem. Oh, that's also, yeah. It's just the length is also a problem. So we just got to go in the segments like I was doing. Oh, it's getting more misaligned. You can see it getting misaligned as we go. All right, well, we can make it shorter like that. So there's just less of an artifact. And then let's add some more of these. And then for some extra little detail, we can add these risers on either side. And now let's paint some of this stuff up. Yeah. Red like that. And then like blue glowing bands. These have to glow. Or should these glow red? That's pretty cool. I actually kind of like that. And then of course I'm gonna also, well, let's save real quick. And polish the blade all the way up on this one. Yeah. All right, well, I mean, it was a bit of a process on this one too, but scythe shape, it's passable. It's passable. It's not the intended way to shape these blades. Definitely not the way that was meant to be shaped with the way that this is the right side. Like you can actually, if you look, you can just see that this is the sword. I just bent a sword in this direction and messed up the edge on this side. That's essentially what this is. But I bet that you guys could probably come up with some crazy out-of-the-box stuff with this, like with the tools that you have even just now, which I know it's gonna get crazier, but I bet you could come up with stuff that you wouldn't even be able to guess that this was a sword building game. So I'll leave a link down in the description. It's free until February 11th. So hopefully you guys get in on that if you liked what you saw here. I definitely enjoyed it. Oh wait, we didn't actually see this yet in different contexts. As we're doing the outro here, let's go ahead and pass through a couple of different arenas. There we go. And, ooh, yeah, there we go. Very cool. So if you guys enjoyed this, check out the link in the description, and you'll probably enjoy some more stuff on the channel that you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.